bellhop. Come on, let's go. We got service.
Okay, first
Do
off,
it.
I'm not the bellhop. Second off, as you can hear, he's not echoing because somebody remembered to mute the other audio from him, unlike a few episodes ago. Sorry about that. It's his fault. Damn it, he makes me blind. Asshole.
He's going
Anyways.
to days.
No, I'm not. I'm going to keep forgetting.
We need to do something about that.
Yes. We definitely need to do something about that. By the way, before we get into anything else, while he's looking at that, if you watch the last two Patreon episodes, you will know that this took 7 hours of work. We're going to try to keep it beneath 30 minutes explaining it. Junior is not convinced that's possible.
Well, before we explain that part of it, I do
He's
want
not
to
going to keep it less than
things.
30 if he's up here running in his mouth. Uh-huh.
We did some expansions. Made a bigger vault. We got a sequenced output a little bit. So the EMC link is now supposed to suck up all the potatoes.
It's not doing it.
Now, the vault is full and not even of potatoes.
There's 6,742 potatoes in there.
Oh, I didn't shift. That's why.
You have to shift.
Yeah. So this is definitely a problem. Would you like to empty these potatoes while I go do some explaining?
Yeah,
Come
you
morning,
go,
that's going to make a mess.
You go start the explaining. I'll start emptying.
Alright. But we got the EMC link that is supposed to be sucking up the potatoes, but EMC link can only import one item at a time, so it's going to take a while. We do have the antimatter relay hooked to it along with the energy collectors. Since I placed it, it's hooked to me, so I now generate EMC without having to do anything. So that's something new.
Soon he needs to start automating making the stuff that we use to make the collectors and links, mainly the quartz. We need to set up a compactor for that.
That's part of kind of the new thing is after this we're going to get into AE. So I can start making us an AE system to start sucking up a lot of stuff that we got laying around.
Okay. But then we have to set up an exporter to send it into a link, which means we need a much better link.
Yeah. Which again is a whole nother matter. But anyways, we do have all that going. I need to explain this whole thing. Because we've been busy. So, as for what took us 7 hours to do, that would be this little thing all the way down here. Oh, hey, we never turned it on.
No, you turned it off because of the tank being full, didn't you?
No, I meant the thing to make the things. We never actually turned it on.
Oh.
But I actually don't have anything down here either. But it's to make the new processes of all these guys. Which I apparently never even set a funnel. Hey, it's daytime.
Yeah, I know. I'm standing at the end of the belt picking up garlic.
So we plug that in, then I'll start bringing down things. And I just gotta get this turned on, which I could easily do just by running a shaft over from that one. Okay.
What's your problem, Bob?
Oh, I never even plugged in the damn things. That would freaking help. Basically, we never plugged anything in.
I thought we had it all working.
No, we never plugged any of this in. There we go.
This is we crap. You
Ah,
never.
there we go.
Anything.
Now we got this done. So that is now making us inductive mechanisms. The end of chapter 4, so we can get on to chapter 5. But we had to make the magnet we already had. We'll make it whenever it breaks. We needed the ender alloy nuggets and the inductive coil thingies. So the magnet, it's its own thing. We'll deal with that later. The ender alloy nuggets, those come all the way from over here. And this guy, which has stone in it for some reason. But that will take in iron and interpoles and pour it out into a thing that doesn't have liquid soul in it. What's a liquid soul?
You jumped in the damn thing, and I had to pour that to get it out of there.
Apparently there's still some stone hanging out on the dang belt.
That's Liquid Junior ass.
What the hell was that?
Mm.
Did you just blow something up?
Mm-mm.
You sure?
I don't know. Still playing with potatoes.
Well, this is supposed to be set so that there isn't random ender in here without the iron. That'll fix that. But we couldn't use an auto drain to drain it out, so we had to filter it through this whole thing, which uses the spout to cast the ender nuggets, because this thing being a pain in my butt. So we use that to get it done. That makes the ender. It goes off. Iron is just coming from the whole iron maker over here somewhere. There's one around here somewhere. I don't know where.
He knows it's there somewhere, folks.
Well, the nuggets are coming out there. Going over here somewhere. Ah, right here. This guy is making up the iron ingots. He's supposed to be anyway. Apparently not. Because apparently we busted something and the belt's not spinning. Lovely.
You busted something again.
So, check this belt. Forgot why it's not spinning. We'll get that fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Processes of working through a whole lot of things. You end up making a mess of things. And then we needed to make the whole freaking inductive coil thing, which is what all of this is for. Because basically, we get the singularities from over here. We got an arm sitting here auto-crafting up all of the grindy wheels. So you go into there, we'll drop onto that chest with this arm, which will grab them, throw them up there. Those will fall down into here, which will make the singularities. And then that'll drop them out onto this belt, which will go down into a chute. That'll go down there somewhere. Freaking hell, I forgot how much of a mess this thing was.
I found your problem with the belt.
I'll fix it.
No. This is a Junior problem. Junior will fix it.
Where's the gearbox?
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
Well, why'd you lose the gearbox?
I didn't lose shit. Why is there a...
What?
Where's this belt drive going to?
What do you mean?
Why is there a
chain
belt
drive?
drive there? Yes, what's the chain drive?
It's running from that belt to this belt. Those are two separate belts.
Oh.
You can't go up from one. So this is a belt and this is a belt.
I see the problem.
So this is just running the up belt to get up in here.
Gotcha.
Hey, look, stone.
Yeah, you keep having that problem.
Hey. Anyways, we have sand coming over from the clay maker. I modified it to be able to get clay or sand out of there. So that is now a whole new situation going on over here.
Which he ended up having to fix
situation.
because he broke the clay.
Yeah, speaking of which,
Did you break it again?
oh, I never turned on the freaking mill.
7 hours, folks. 7 hours of this crap. And he's still finding things that he screwed up.
Shut up, you. There was a lot of crap we were dealing with.
Yeah, I think most of the first 3.5 hour episode was just trying to deal with those singularities.
I'm not even gonna get this turned on. I'll just pull it off of there. That'll work. There we go. Wait a minute, that ain't gonna work.
Why
It's
not?
gonna make the dust, but that's not gonna pull the dust out. The dust has to go on that belt. That has to be there to pull the dust out. Which actually can't be there, because then it ain't gonna pull it out, it's gonna drop it over there. Okay, that's gonna be a whole thing. I'll deal with that afterwards. In between. Don't worry about it. Hey look, stone brick on the belt.
It's a work in progress, folks.
Anyway, sand comes over. It comes up here along with the gunpowder, which I also am pulling from over there. And that is making us TNT in these blocks. The line of TNT, which comes over and drops into a chute. And then we have this new contraption.
Hold on, before you go down there, show them the thing you figured out with the cobblestone thing. Where you changed this from the funnel.
Yeah. I had an andesite funnel sitting here, dropping one item onto each one. I figured out this thing can actually grab quite a few items and sit here and poke them all into each one. It don't have to do it all at once. So it's better to drop off multiple at a time. By the way, did you ever put the... Yeah, you must be under it. Ah, yeah, there it is. We got a tier 3 cobblegen under there filling that up for us. But yeah, so it's better to use the blast funnel or drop stack at a time so it can grab all of it needs at once and sit there and poke it all in. What's this doing? That is monitoring the singularities. It has a shut off for
that way you're not making singularities when the singularity box is full.
Except both of them were set to receiver, so I wasn't actually going to do anything to it.
Dummy.
Anyways, we have this new contraption.
Yes.
Going down.
No. Bad. I'm out.
To this. Have we been over the limit yet?
You're at only 14 minutes, but yeah, you can hit one.
Alright, so we cobbled together this whole fuckery.
There's not a better way of saying what this is. That's kind of what this is. Do I need to explain the redstone, or can you remember what all this is?
I can, but sure, go ahead.
I really don't want to. I just want to make sure you can remember.
Go on, explain it.
Basically, you have the chutes bringing everything down, putting them into separate droppers. We have, and a dispenser, because you need to dispense the TNT, not drop the TNT. So the singularities are in these two on this side. I about fell in the hole. The ender pearls are on this side, and then the dispenser here in the front is the TNT. And everything is nice and full, but it's currently shut off because of the tank upstairs. This right here is turning it off. He'll explain that in a minute. But basically, you have a comparator checking the bottom one on either side. Both sides are mirror images. And then that is going into this repeater that is making it a full signal. And then you also have up here a comparator comparing, checking the top one to make sure that there's some in the top one. Usually won't be an issue, but at the very beginning it was, because everything drops from the top one to the bottom one, and we didn't want to shoot just one. So that comes down to this AND gate, which we did figure out you can turn off the redstone signal on the back with a screwdriver. So that's why this one looks different than the ones we were using before. It's only a 2 AND gate, not a 3 AND gate. And then over here is the 3 AND gate, which is taking the signal from both dropper sides and the TNT and putting it together and giving us a redstone signal out here, which is inverted to turn off this torch. Except right now it's turned on because of the signal from the bucket thing. And then that goes into a 20-second timer that leads all the way back through all of this stuff and engages, if he can find where all that redstone went. That was a pain in the butt figuring out how we were going to route all of that around. But basically it hits all 4 of the droppers and the dispenser, and we get a singularity. If he can manage to clang this thing one time, we can make it. There you go. And that's why it's down here.
We didn't go anywhere. There you go.
I got it. Takes me a second.
But yes, I built an elevator. So that's why that stuff's ran across the ceiling.
And then if you hurry up and get over here, you can see the next step where it is making the quantum
tangled into the black dye. It then makes a whole bunch of paintballs. And then do that whole thing, which is
I love this funny floppy ladder thing for paintballs we came up with.
Then that sits here and it grabs the magentas, sticks them into the thing, they go out, that hits into the dispenser, which then gets sucked up by the vacuum
And
chest.
you were too close.
That pounds it, puts it up into a crafter, which makes the things, which then put them up here into the chest, which then does this whole thing. So we are currently out of induction coils, which is going to be a future problem. Holy crap.
We've made a bunch.
I didn't realize I had that much.
Now, this whole thing here with the beacon took a little bit of figuring out too, because we kept having them fly out. So that's why we have the red glass on top, not just so Junior can have a red beacon, but we want to try to contain that flying thing inside of that little hole, because they can't fly out if there's no opening. And then
I still
we
want
have
to put a windmill bearing.
a windmill bearing.
Yeah, just put it there and have like all 16 colors of glass in a circle.
Oh, you
They
just
can
want to be
sit there and
weird.
just keep rotating them.
And then we also have a threshold switch to a 5-second timer, so this thing isn't popping constantly. And if
we're
we
full
get
of
full,
this stuff, it'll stop it.
yeah. I think that's it. Other than we've got a huge
the
tank of
Now,
fluid, which
this
we're
is
going to be
why the
needing for the
system is
next
currently
chapter.
shut off.
Yeah.
Because if this is full, then these will get full, and then that'll make a mess with the paintballs. And yeah, so we just needed a shut off. So I put a threshold switch here, set to the redstone down there to shut off the explosions. Because then we ain't making paintballs.
Right. And as you can see from that end chest, we really don't need them at the moment.
Yeah, we got quite a few of those.
And then you also
the
have...
bad part?
What? You do yours, I'll do mine. You first.
Since we now have these, we need to do the next mechanism. And,
we ran out of factory.
I don't know if this will be enough room.
We're going to start it over here. But I'm pretty sure...
have quite a bit of room over here I can fill in.
Pretty sure there'll be another factory expansion coming soon.
Well, like I said, I don't need any of this room, so maybe I can fill it all in here.
Yeah, but we need to leave some of... This is just... Starting the next chapter is going to be, working through it. And then the automation. Yeah. And this area is going to be needed for the automation if you want to continue using your belts and stuff to move things from one end to the other. Rather than what I was about to get into, which is Junior's whole rant about hating this chapter because it isn't unlocking anything for him, where every other one unlocks something, and I don't want him to start it again. Please have mercy on us. We want to keep this under 30 minutes, and we've got 8 minutes left. Don't start it. This chapter is unlocking moving stuff without conveyors. This is where you're supposed to be moving on from Create and into Ender Age of moving things teleported wise. And well, Junior's not down with that. He's got 2 words for you. He likes his...
I just don't get the point.
Because you enjoy belt spaghetti like your father. You enjoy having to set all this up. You don't want to just teleport something from one end of the factory to the other, which is what this whole thing is about, is getting away from the belt spaghetti and just sending everything into ender chests and ender tanks, and then just setting up a new ender tank and ender chest where you want it. So this chapter isn't doing anything really for us, but unlocking the next chapter.
Technically, the next chapter will be where I start doing that, because the next is getting into AE, and I will use AE to automate stuff. I'll start using storage buses on the stuff, and plug in the exports and the inputs and all that crap. So now the factory can go digital, not Ender.
Everybody knows how much I hate when you automate AE crap. I like my belt spaghetti. Give me a good belt or a good item pipe any day.
I think you got enough belt spaghetti to keep you entertained for a while. You still ain't mapped out this factory yet.
He's supposed to be doing that too. He's supposed to be digging out down here. There's going to be another Patreon thing for that as well. Where he's going to clear out... Oh, you didn't show the thing. Did you leave the thing down here? We're not going to be under 30 seconds. Or 30 minutes. Did you take it out?
Yeah, I took it out.
Oh. He built a thing.
Yeah. I found a thing in Create. I don't remember what it was called. This
Schematic
thing, a
cannon.
mechanical roller.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
the
was
schematic
thinking
cannon is how we made this.
You're right. Never mind.
But this mechanical roller basically is supposed to either be put on front of a train to clear out a track, replace what's under it, or it had a fill mode. Which I thought if I put it with a whole bunch of stone, it would end up filling down to the build limit. Apparently not.
This is for ravines and caves, not voids.
Apparently, yeah. So that's as far as it went, so I'm probably not going to bother with it. Not just stick to my wand, but it was a cool idea I had that could fill in all this. I still got to fill in all this because his idea is basically that we make a layer down here where I run my belts around instead of just having them stuck in the floor like I currently do.
Well, technically they'll be in the floor, but they'll be visible so we don't have to dig it out every time. So there'll be like a belt floor
I
and
just
then
build a
this
box down here. And then they all in here.
Oh, we still never finished the chaining of the hanging of this. We got 2 of them done. I got to get the other 2 done. Because this is hanging off of the thing.
Gotcha. And something you probably noticed is I did put in the chain in the factory too. So we now have this.
Speaking of chains, I wish we had the big chains from Vault Hunters, because that would look so much better down there. Holding up that than these little piddly chains. Those big chains would look so much better, but we don't have them. But
I honestly want to put a speed control on this and speed it up all the way.
Yeah, it is a little slow. Anyways, we're at 27 minutes. We can get this in less than 30 if you can say goodbye.
Later.
Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back for looking at chapter 5.
Yep.
In the next one. Later.
Uh-huh.